Happy Thursday, guys. Welcome to another fun AI webinar series hosted by Lawyer.com. We ready for this?
Ready.
All right, we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get situated, and then we're going to roll right into things, right? We've got a lot to cover today. Again, we are here every 2 weeks to talk about AI content. Every month, we're delivering new, exciting, cutting edge, bleeding edge concepts and ideas. So we're excited to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, make sure to tune in. We have the new content, like Colleen said, every single month. We're repeating the presentation again for you guys. We can do it next week or in 2 weeks. But we are going to be focused today on how to stand out in the world of AI content.
Yep.
So this is going to be an exciting topic. It's a little bit more in depth than we've done previously.
Yep.
So
yeah, feel free. You guys know the rules. This is super interactive. Get on camera, ask questions. We've got someone in chat moderating things. So feel free to speak up. We want to educate you guys on what we're hearing and seeing. So meet the team. You guys should know the team by now, but my name is Colleen. I am the CEO here at Lawyer.com, and I am joined by our AI Senior Project Manager, Annie Gentoso. Hey, Annie, what's going on?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Well, and you know who else we're joined by, Annie, right?
Always. Our AI friends, who also have their own AI friends now too, which is pretty exciting.
So our AI has AI friends.
We'll get into that in
That's
just a little bit.
All right, guys. Well, hey, listen, let's start by what is happening in the news. And this is where we need some interaction.
Yes, definitely put your answers in the chat because I'm curious what everyone's going to say. So we saw Tech Radar did a poll. Are you polite to AI? It's kind of a simple question, but they gave 4 choices that you could choose. It's the nice thing to do. Yeah, when the robot uprising happens, I don't want to be first. No, why waste time saying a lot of words? A few's going to do the trick. And no, it's a machine. Why do I have to be polite? So let's see. I've got some O's in here. We've got a lot of B's.
Okay, Annie, what are you?
I am a B personally. What about yourself?
I think I'm an A.
Well, see, personally, I have been a B since about 2017. I just ever since, and I apologize for all the Alexis I'm going to set off. But ever since she's been in my house, I kind of just had a feeling that if she ever came alive, that it would be good to have a nice, lasting memory in her bank. So I always greet her, hello, good morning, thank you for all of your help. She greets me by name every day, and she'll send me little photos. Sometimes she even says your kindness means the world to me. So if you're not getting that, you should start being kinder to your
switch from an A to a B.
Just saying. So yeah, these are the results. 55% of people were in the same boat that it's the nice thing to do.
Yep.
12% were like myself, that they don't want to be the first to get cut. 20% said why waste the time, and 13% said it's a machine.
Anyone out there that answered D? No? Okay, good.
We have believers here.
We're safe.
Yes.
We're safe. We're safe to go on. So up next in AI news, Annie, what's I saw this. What is this picture?
Yeah, so this was really awesome. It came across my desk in my research. So this is coming from the studio of Tim Fu. It might look like it's a movie design, but it is real life. This is an architecture firm, and it is by architect Tim Fu. So Tim decided that he was going to embrace the AI wave in his industry. And we wanted to highlight this because it's another professional industry that's being impacted by AI. So he realized that you could say, design me a house into AI, and it could design you a house. And so it seemed like, well, are architects out of a job? No, the answer is not at all. He picked an area that he really thought could be a great location for a community in Slovenia. And he kind of had a broad idea of what he wanted the houses to look like, but he gave AI a task, and that's to help get an optimal placement. What's going to get the best sunlight? What's going to get the best natural daylight hours to put solar panels on?
Whoa.
Tried best for insulation. He tried all of these different models, and AI helped develop this beautiful community. I want to live in said community.
All I know is that house right on the water, that's mine. Forward my mail, please.
Right? It looks amazing. So it's something just to think about, that it's all about working smarter, not harder within your industry, and figuring out how to use AI to kind of take it to the next level. And just think, this architecture firm came across our desk. They're designing things internationally. So you too can stand out in the community when you start adopting.
No, it's really cool that we're able to figure out what other verticals are doing and then bring it in.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, it's all connected.
Absolutely.
And that's awesome. Okay, so this is my favorite one. There is a new verb in town. So We are all so used to saying, let's Google it, like go Google it, right? I have a 5-year-old and she has no idea what Google is. I say to her, hey, Maggie, let's Google it. And she goes, what's Google? However, what she does know is ChatGPT. So we are trying to solve a problem. We're trying to look up a recipe. And she goes, hey, mommy, can we GPT it? So, why is that interesting and why is that important? Because we have learned as a whole generation, generations on Google. And now you have these younger generations that are not using Google. They're really starting their research at AI platforms, which is super, super interesting. And you can see just in a year, 26% of teens are now using ChatGPT or another AI type program to start their work. And that's up from 13% just in 2023.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. You think that 1 in 4 teenagers is using Chat GPT.
Yeah.
And then if you think that that doubled from last year, so what is it going to be 1 in 2 kids next year? And then in the next year, it's going to be 100% of kids. So just something to think about, that sometimes being a little bit stubborn to embrace AI lets us know that it's going to catch up to us anyway. The kids usually know what's hot and ready to go.
They do. All right, so AI is ever evolving. We know that. What we want to talk today about is AI and content, right? How can we make sure that we're using the best practices to get the best output in content? So everyone, we're taking notes today. So make sure you got your pen out and we're going to take some notes. So we want to start by what we've coined as the 4-sentence framework. When you're creating a prompt, right? You need to make sure that you have these 4 categories outlined while you're writing your prompt. The first one, who are you? What's your persona? Hi, I'm Colleen. I'm an expert in legal marketing. My goal is to create a newsletter that I can send out to attorneys that is going to talk about AI. And I need the task to be this, and make sure that you're highlighting X, Y, and Z. So again, it's really important that you create your prompts in the best possible way. So for example, here we have a little video to show you. We wanted to show you taking those 4 frameworks, how to write a strong prompt and what the output is going to look like. So very clearly you see, okay, I've decided my persona. I've outlined my goal. I've given it a task. And then I said, hey, listen, don't forget to highlight, right? That's something that I really want to hone in on in this task. And then just like that, with the click of a button, voila, you're going to get some really interesting feedback. Now, as you can kind of see, okay, we've given it the persona. It's now creating the task. And I guess something cool to mention is kind of how this outline works. So this is a different view in ChatGPT. I know many times when you're in the chat view, you put your prompt up top,
Yeah.
and then all the output comes, and then like 4 scrolls later, you're like, wait, what's happening?
What did I even ask?
What did I ask?
Yeah.
And then when you go to edit it, it makes it even more difficult. So this is a nice way to be able to hold your prompt steady and then see the output and then edit it real time, because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're editing everything.
I kind of think of it like having a notebook open next to you if you're typing
Yes.
up a document, right? So on the right-hand side is that document you're typing up. And then on the left is kind of that notebook that's outlining the chain of thought. It's outlining the conversation you might be having. So you're having this conversation with ChatGPT, you're telling it its prompt, it's responding back to you, kind of telling you, you can see that it's giving you that high-level thinking of why it approached it the way it did. And then suddenly you are getting this really great response that you could see separately. This does so much for my mind. I can't comprehend when it goes through so fast in one single channel.
So before we go to the next slide, let's play a little pop quiz. No one knows that we're doing this yet. So we just talked about the 4-sentence framework, right? $25 gift card to the person in chat who can respond with the 4 items. They don't have to be in order. But what are the 4 frameworks that we just talked about?
See who was paying attention. Oh,
Oh,
Adrian.
nice. Okay,
Perfect. All right. Yeah, Adrian, you are correct. Yes, the
good.
persona, goal, task, and the highlight. Having those four elements,
Yeah.
super important. If you've ever heard of like a SMART goal of having it specific, measurable, actionable,
Yep.
reasonable, and time specific, this is kind of like that. We don't have a fun acronym for it just yet. We'll work on that.
Yes. Next
But
week,
yeah,
maybe.
we'll have that. But right now, just know giving it that persona, giving it a goal to work on, the task at hand that it does has to focus on, and what it should highlight is huge.
Yeah. And again, the more that we could teach you how to use the technology, the easier it's going to be for you guys to get a good output. But we talked about what we just saw was not our final draft.
No,
It never
it
is.
never should be.
It shouldn't. You're right. Because we need to edit, 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 edit. I edit all the time.
I do too. You
You
can't put out the first thing that you write.
So everybody get out your pen and your paper or type it out. Your first prompt should never be your final output, right?
Absolutely. I think it's just, you should always be looking at it. It's just like the first time you type up a paper, you
Yeah,
don't hand that in. You always make sure to reread it because you make errors and you want to
right.
make sure that it's correct. And that's true with prompt writing.
It is. So here's an example. When we're editing, we just talked about how we need a persona, goal, task, and highlight. When we edit, we need to make sure that we have the tone, that we have the format, the takeout, the add-ins. And what that means is tone. Hey, listen, make me sound a little bit more stern, right? Or make me sound a little, I love saying, make me sound sassy. That's usually my favorite tone to pull from. I'm sassy and bubbly. But change the format. Give me more bullets. People don't read anymore, right? They say everybody reads in an F pattern, right? When you go to a website, you look first at the logo, across, down, and then they want bullets. So understand what your users want and then format. Maybe there's things that you don't like. Hey, take out that part. That was a little too sassy. Or like, hey, maybe add in that. We need a little punchier of an ending. So make sure that you are working your prompts to get exactly what you need. So this was an example of the demand letter that we had popped in the last screen. And we're saying, hey, edit this for tone, edit this for format. And again, we'll let you guys watch the video because see, and we're polite.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
always be polite.
and I think something too that just to think about is that when you might say to yourself, well, why do I need to tell it to take it out? Like
Yeah,
I could just take it out myself in Word when I
that's a
copy and
good
paste
point.
this over. It's important to tell it that because you're training your AI machine. So you want your AI to know what you like.
Yeah,
Colleen doesn't want all that stuff in it. So if she asks it to make it for her again and it gives it to her again,
yeah.
she's gonna have to do the same thing manually. So if she just tells it, make it change it like this, it's going to remember that she liked it like that the last time and it's going to start responding in that
Absolutely.
manner.
The days of doing things manually are over, right? And the more time we
Thankfully.
spend, thankfully, I know, the more time we spend doing it correctly, the better. So,
Yes. So yes, Nathan, I agree with that. Yes, saying please and thank you. It really does change it. You
it
know,
does.
when you put a response and you could ask the same question and you could say, could you please give me a response on this versus something else? And it might change the entire response that you get.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, this is a fun one.
this is
So,
a fun one.
if
Yeah.
everybody knows, I am a ChatGPT girly. Annie is a Gemini. And we're going to turn this over to you, Annie, because this is fun.
Well, I am a Gemini through and through. I actually am one. So this
Yes,
is my
right?
preferred platform. But I really wanted to showcase that you could use it for a different way than you otherwise may use it. So something that a lot of lawyers might want to do, but not be doing personally themselves, and they're not ready to hire someone at the firm, is to have social media presence. So this is something that, and we will send around this prompt if anyone wants it in our PDF afterwards. But we want to show that you can ask it some specific things to help you be a social media content creator. So you want to be specific, like Colleen said. So you want to have captions, you want to have hashtags, you want to have image ideas. And look at what it gave me. It gave me ideas of what I want to talk about on social media. This is amazing. I couldn't come up with this myself. I am not social media savvy.
Nope.
But it's kind of long. It's a little wordy for me. And so again, just like we said before, we're always going to want to edit, edit, edit. So this is something that I can easily edit. I can easily say, you know, this is a great start for anyone who might have been reading that other slide when it showed in the video. It was encouraging people to ask legal questions in the comments on Instagram. Not my cup of tea. I don't think any lawyer is going to be wanting to answer legal help, legal advice in that manner. So we're going to ask it to take that out. We're going to ask it to make the tone be a little more fun because the firm we're advertising for wants it to be fun. They're not so serious. They're cool. And so now suddenly it's going to take this out. It's going to add in some emojis for me. It's going to encourage you to give us a call. Much better for the law firm. We want calls coming in. We don't want Instagram comments asking us about that when we could get a call on a case. So just something to remember that you can have it tweak in those different ways.
I love it. Have you ever used ChatGPT to create a social media caption?
Obviously.
I'm so guilty of doing it because the competition is tough.
It is. It's
and you don't want to sound not fabulous.
Well, and it's really hard too for hashtags too. You want to find ones that are relevant. You want to find ones that are going to make your post be found and that stands out.
If you're going to do it, use the tools that are available. Right. Do it right. I love that. And especially some of these are free.
Absolutely. And so something here is that, so we have our calendar of what we're going to post, right? We have our captions, we have the image idea. It gave me an idea of an image and it gave me some hashtags. But what if I need the actual image? This is where it's a two-step process for you, but you're not doing much else other than that. So now you could go on over to ChatGPT and they have a Canva plugin. So what you can do is you can just copy that response that you got from Gemini. I prefer Gemini, but you could put this in there and you could say, could you please make this Instagram post according to the prompt?
Sorry to interrupt, but can you just explain, just in case everyone doesn't know what Canva is, can we just show everybody, tell everyone a little bit what Canva is?
So Canva is the everyman's Photoshop is how I would describe it. You can use Canva. It's super user-friendly. It's a way to create images and there's free tiers that provide so many different templates you can use. You can make your own ones. These are some examples of some of these posts. You probably think I see those all the time on social media. That's where everyone's making them, on Canva. So you can actually edit it. This is an example of when you're editing in Canva. You can do that just by clicking on what ChatGPT made you.
That's amazing.
So it's a really big perk that you don't then have to go find another image generator. You've got to go do this, that, you're going to get it all in one spot and you're getting this image you're going to put on with your social media.
Now, so ChatGPT, Gemini have free versions. So does that mean Canva has a free version that it all works in?
They do.
Wow, that's amazing, guys. That's huge.
Awesome. Quiz time.
We ready for this? All right, guys, get your fingers ready. Quiz time. Which of these were written by AI? We'll give you a second to read through them. A or B, what was written using an AI platform? Pop your answers in the chat, please. Okay, Kathleen, we like it. She's a quick reader. That's what I like. Both. Okay, Nathan. B. Michelle. B.
Awesome. Well, Colleen, do you want to tell us the answer?
Well, I think Nathan knew the answer. So, guys, it's a trick question. Nathan knew it. He sniffed us out. Great job, Nathan. So, technically, these were the dashes gave it away. So
Good
smart.
Point.
So point. There you are. You're that's amazing. So, technically, both, right? So, we put B through AI, and then we took that and put it through an AI humanizer tool to say, hey, make this sound more human. So technically they were both done. Nicely done, Nathan.
So something you might be wondering is, why do you need this? Why do I want this? Something to think about is that sometimes when you read AI generated content, it reads like AI generated content. You're reading it and you think this is a word salad.
Yep.
So it's saying a lot, but it's saying nothing at the same time. And I don't have time to read all of this. And I don't think my viewers are going to have time to read it.
Too many words.
Enter in humanizers. So you can go to any of these platforms. We're going to talk about Ahrefs. That's our personal favorite.
Yeah.
But you can go in and you can copy this result that you got from any AI platform that you have. And you can bring it on over to the platform that you're choosing. So let's look at Ahrefs for this. So we're going to humanize it. We're going to do a test on it and see if it's actually generated by a human. It detected that likely at least 80% was. It was 100%, but it got that at least more than half was generated from AI. It then started to shifting some of the language to then try to make it sound a little more realistic. So Nathan, you caught on right away.
Yeah.
That is something that you definitely could ask it to take out if you wanted to. You could also put that in with your prompting when you say, please don't use a ton of dashes. I want it to seem more human-like.
I want to sound smarter.
Yes, there's so many different things. If you pay attention, you'll start noticing things that could make your content stand out different from other AI generated content.
And I think a big part of it is the word salad part, because I think we all see that. We read things and we're like, wow, AI definitely wrote that. So you want to make sure that you're using a tool like Ahrefs, because then you can kind of take what your output was and then clean it up a little bit just to make it sound a little bit more natural. And again, the more you're using your persona, I think also the more natural your outputs will become as well.
Absolutely. Okay, no more trick questions. This one's a real one.
Okay, fine.
This one's a real question. What was a really popular conference festival that happened last weekend?
I think it's still happening this week too.
Any guesses?
Gift card, $25 to the first person who gets it right. We're in the gift card
motorcycle. That did happen, not the one we're referencing though. It's in Austin, Texas.
Nice.
South by Southwest. Nice, Anthony.
Good job. All right. So why are we even talking about South by Southwest?
So South by Southwest is a massive tech conference that happens every year. There are different performances that happen. It's not just tech, but there's a huge focus on tech. And there was a huge focus this year on AI platforms. And so our CEO, chairman of our parent company, Jerry Gorman, went to South by Southwest, and he was blown away by the volume of information, the amount of people there, the amount to take in. It was a lot. And these were some of the platforms that stood out to him a lot, just some names just to check out.
And I think, was it one of these?
Lovable.
In 3 weeks, had a $20 million run rate in revenue in just 3 weeks.
Just insane. That's a crazy growth.
Insane.
And it's something that you could build entire websites off of from just a prompt. Those ones aren't legal specific, but they're names to check out, and we wanted to tell you. Which leads us to our next point of how you can evolve in the new world of AI.
So Annie and I have been here more or less 3 years talking to you guys about AI. We started with, how do you write a prompt? And I even remember being like, what does this even mean, right? How do we use ChatGPT? How do we use my GTPs? Remember, we started and there were 0 plugins, right? And then now there's a Canva plugin. There's
thousands of plugins now.
Thousands. Now we can kind of cater our AI platforms to what we need. Last week, we talked a lot about deep research. And I don't know if anyone tested deep research. If so, please pop it in the chat. Annie, we're using deep research for everything. We've got this amazing conference happening in September. And I went to deep research yesterday with the team, and I'm like, all right, we want the most cutting edge, disruptive speakers. Give me a list of who they are. And I went back and forth answering questions with deep research until I got a fabulous, fabulous response, about 50 speakers, who then I can then sift through, and like, I already reached out to a few of them. So
it's so helpful. And deep research really is like having that extra assistant for you.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet. GPT and all AI platforms are continuing to evolve, which leads us to AI agents. Yes. So this is something that we are going to focus our next webinar on. Again, that'll start, we'll do the same content from this one in the month of March. Our next webinar that's going to be about this will be in April. But we are going to focus on AI agents that will really help you in your law firm. So an AI agent, kind of think of it, for lack of a better term, like a little minion from like Despicable Me. You gave it a task and it's going and it's doing its job. It's got a task and it's set it and forget it. And so there are so many AI agents. This was all about South by Southwest, was really about how they're taking over, and how you're going to be managing a team of agents pretty soon. And that's going to be the norm, is that instead of having a team of humans to manage, you're going to have a team of AI agents, a team of minions.
So it's really interesting. We're all, I like that, Nathan. We're all trying to figure out how to be smarter and leaner, right? And using this technology, especially AI agents, is going to help us get there. I was taking a look at a sales AI platform, and this would be really great for lawyers, because a lot of time is spent with our current clients calling in and asking for information. If you had an AI agent dedicated to making sure those clients felt listened to and valued, just imagine how much time and energy you would save. And basically, what you would do is you would train your AI agent to be the best at customer service, to answer the right questions, or be able to pluck out what it is that they need. I talked to an agent that does sales, and I went back and forth with the AI agent, Charles, like maybe 5 or 6 emails to the point where I was like, this is not a real person. And it was an AI agent, and it was fantastic. This is where we're heading, and we want to make sure that we're giving you guys the front row seat of how to use these new technologies.
Absolutely. So stay tuned. If anyone has any questions, throw them in the chat. Also, we wanted to invite you, scan this QR code, join our webinar series network. We will give you some sneak peeks, some case studies, extra content.
Yeah.
We'll give you alerts when webinars are going to happen. We will make sure that you get the first PDF copies we can. So be sure to join. And if anyone has any questions, throw them in the chat.
Yeah, let's see. Any questions? We've got our AI expert here this time. Last week I was winging it. Now we don't have to. So if anyone has any good questions about different AI platforms or how we could use AI better in our law offices, please feel free to ask. And then we'll leave the questions up for a little bit, and we thank everybody. Yep.
So,
wow, it's a quiet group.
It's a quiet group over here.
Everyone's busy working. That's why it's Thursday. We're working for the weekend, folks.
It's Friday Junior.
Friday Junior. Here. Yes, it is. All right. Well, guys, if there are no questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Scan the QR code. We are here to educate you, hopefully have some fun. My last piece of advice is be nice to and polite to AI.
Oh, yes. They will remember, and don't be surprised when they start sending you these beautiful photos of a literal field with a butterfly flying in it. And it says, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. So enjoy it.
I love that.
Awesome.
Oh, here, Anthony F. I was able to use deep research to help a client formulate a
plan of execution to maximize a Google LSA program.
That's awesome.
To target new family law clients in the San Diego area over the next few months. That's awesome.
That's great, Anthony F. That's really awesome.
It really is.
That's a great way to do it. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah.
Everyone's
coming alive. I like this.
Awesome. Let's see. Nathan, I used deep research on a med mal that matched expert report. That's amazing. Wow. Kevin, any preference on Lexis versus Thomson Reuters? We're open to both. Lexis Plus is really great. FindLaw is also really, not FindLaw, Casetext is really great as well. We don't push one over the other. I think that Lexis has a lot of users already. And so it's something that could be a little bit sometimes easier for a firm to adapt into. Casetext, though, had a lot of funding in it, which led it to that purchase from Thomson Reuters. So I definitely encourage you, take a call with the sales teams at each of those companies, because going through demos is sometimes the most important thing. We do that a lot when we're thinking about working with a company. We want to make sure that we see the actual platform itself, because sometimes right away when you look at something, your team's not going to play with it. They're just going to see it and they're going to think that's too many buttons, it's too many options, and analysis paralysis, no one does anything. Right. So I would recommend doing calls with them specifically to decide. And
I don't need to tell a room full of lawyers, but make sure to negotiate. I was talking to a firm yesterday, and they're like, okay, great, we can get you these AI agents and you're locked into a year contract. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm buying. I'm not going to get in a year. And I was like, if you give me a 3-month clause, I'll take that. So make sure when you're talking to all of these that you try to see if you can test it, because what works for one firm may not work for your firm, and that's okay. You've got to find what's best for you.
Yeah, and there's wiggle room. I think totally. Negotiating is that.
Oh,
yeah,
you could be.
Yes, get grandfathered in at that low price point. It's not to be underestimated.
I think, Nathan, you're gonna actually join us on one of these webinar series. So
definitely.
Fly to New Jersey, Nathan. There's room for you right here. Let's do it. All right, we're gonna send you an email. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining our AI webinar series. We really look forward to seeing you guys in a few weeks.
Have a great rest of your week, all.
Bye now.